Asgard is not a place. Never was. This could be Asgard. Asgard is where our people stand. Even now, right now, those people need your help.
I'm not as strong as you.
No. You're stronger.
Już możesz.
I hope you hear me well. So next week and our next meeting with developers. Today we have Bartek, our PM, Christian, our god of frontend, and Philip, our best evangelist and X-Men. And oh, what can I say? So nice to see you again this week. And long story short, let's go on because we have a lot of things to show you today. So Bartek, go on.
Yeah, sure. So I think that we can start with short a description of our agenda for today. So first of all, you probably saw our small video in the intro. So I want to especially thanks to Corey Trevor, who is one of the members of our community, and we are happy that he helped us to create things like that. So we will try to share the good stuff which we received from you. So if you will help us on the Telegram, you will share your creativity content and something like that. For sure, we will try to use that and share with everybody with your work. So once again, Corey, thank you very much for that video. And yeah, so right now I want to say what we want to show today. And yeah, so we will start with Philip because I think that Philip has today a little bit more rumors. I saw something.
Rumors are gossip or fake news. No rumors. You might have seen on Rafael's, I think it was Facebook and Instagram, that we in fact did have an interview just today in Warsaw. We had a German guest person who has their own crypto company, blockchain-based company, and they run a blockchain accelerator in Berlin. So coming soon. Be impatient, please. Hopefully it's going to be good. If not, then grill me so I can do the next one better. But I think you should enjoy it. And there's going to be more coming your way. So fingers crossed and stay tuned.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Philip, for that. I'm so happy that you are start working on that, and I'm looking forward to see these interesting interviews in the future. I know that the list of the people who you want to speak with is quite long and quite interesting. So I think that it will be quite massive content for everybody, right?
No pressure.
Yeah, it's a little bit, right? So yeah, so. From technical sides, Christian is today with us. Christian is our front-end developer. For sure, you know him from our website and from previous meetings. And yeah, so Christian there were a lot of questions about the DApp applications. So this is the part of the BigShortBets.com pre-sale application that you can use the stable coins and Ethereum to buy the coins during the pre-sale stage. And we want to share with you the code of this because there were, like I said, a lot of questions how it works, why we did it, and why we share that with you. And we want to as well explain how we want to utilize this code in our application and a little bit maybe share with you information that the transaction which you normally make by MetaMask and the DApp application will be as well implemented and used in our application. So I think that it will be part where Christian will cover. And then I want to quickly just show you what we prepared for you for Sandbox, some new features that we added in the application, and probably we can after that just move to the our tool, how we manage our project and how we are communicating with developers and in a team and with team members. And after that, I think that we can just go straight to the question section and part. And I think and it will be planned for today. So I think we don't need to waste more time for my introduction, my agenda. So I think Christian, it's time for your show, and floor is yours.
Sure thing. I think I would start screen sharing, if you don't mind, to be able to showcase something. But in the meanwhile, I would actually like to give a brief intro to what I'm going to talk about. BigShortBets website will be the main topic of what I would like to talk about. But let's go back in history to early days of Ethereum. In these days, the only way to transfer value using the net was by using some applications, wallets, and providing address of the recipient of transaction manually, which was, well, ugly, obfuscated. Address does not look nice. It's a little bit error prone. Best case scenario, we could use QR codes, I guess. However, ecosystem of Ethereum evolved a lot since then. One interesting addition was ERC20 standard. What this acronym mean? We definitely heard about Tether or stable coins like USDC. One interesting thing about the standard is that it allows us to convert between coins that fulfill the standard pretty easily using tools like, well, we definitely heard about Uniswap or maybe Pancake or SushiSwap. If we go to Uniswap app, what we can realize is that the transaction that we make, the conversion between particular coins, happens in the browser. Now, how this is happening? This is another benefit, another nice thing that we got with Ethereum blockchain development, which is called DEVS, which you might also know as decentralized applications. The idea is that through various means, we can connect our browser to Ethereum blockchain itself and interact with the contracts, which allows us for pretty interesting interactions. Uniswap is actually one of the implementation of the app. Now, the question is how this capability of connecting to Ethereum blockchain and even making transactions on the chain can be useful for BigShortBets. And these people who took part in the second pre-sale, they probably already know that the tool that is posted on the website to take part in the pre-sale is actually the app. So if I would select currency and pick an amount, then I will be redirected to MetaMask wallet, which I use to fulfill the transaction without leaving the browser itself. My wallet will be the mean to confirm my wallet and use my resources to confirm transaction. The data that you can see on the website is also pulled directly from the contract. That's why we can deliver the actual information about the pre-sale in real time. Now, these functionalities are available here because they are available in the contract. What I can show you is a little bit of how we can interact with the contract. The code of the contract itself, you can actually find on Etherscan by following details that are provided on the website. Now, one thing that is a little bit more hidden is the code that we use to interact with the contract on our website. Now, let me briefly show you a couple of interesting things there. One interesting thing is what is called API. API is equivalent to API for those who know programming languages. So basically the description of how can you interact with the contract, what methods does it expose, what data it requires to perform certain operations on the contract. Now, those APIs are being provided by people who create contract itself. Second interesting part is how we interact with the contract. For example, if we would like to make a transaction in Ethereum, this is pretty simple because every contract has a method that allows us to make a payment. It could be wrapped, like in the case of a preset contract, which is wrapped in pay ETH method, where basically what we need to provide is our address and number of Ethereum that we would like to send to the contract. It requires some additional validation, which we also perform in the code. But the difficult, maybe not difficult, but more complicated things happen when we would like to use things such as stablecoins. Because for stablecoins, the procedure of making the actual payment is twofold. The first part that actually happens is approval process. Say I would like to use Ethereum. What I need to do first is approve on the Tether contract that the amount of money that I've selected in this input box is the amount of money that I would like to send somewhere. Now, when this approval process is successful, then we actually move to handling the actual transaction, which is sending those stable coins, Tether tokens, to the contract itself. So that's the mechanisms that are hidden from users so that this two-stage process does not need to happen through using some operations in MetaMask itself. So instead of actually going through this activity, the interface on the website is supposed to help us get through. The process that I showed you was a two-step process. Now, there are even more difficult or sophisticated processes that might be useful with the contracts. And the demo that I've just showcased you and the preset itself, I think it's just the beginning. I think we would like to invest more resources into developing DEVS. For example, what I foresee, what I imagine could be possible, not necessarily will be done, but how we would like to at least try to use it is BigShortBets as a platform could allow for microtransactions between users who would like to exchange value or tokens for informations, or maybe even make some more sophisticated transactions. So what we could do using code of DEVS is allow for certain operations. Say you would like to get access to certain information. You can just press a button and then DEVS will connect to your wallet and allow you to spend certain money or amount of tokens to deliver value for the owner of information before getting it for you. Just an example of possible usage. And I believe that would be it, unless there are some questions, opinions, suggestions. Otherwise,
Okay,
I pass my voice to Bartek.
I have a question, Bartek and
Yes.
Christian. So, how do you think where in the BSB application that we are developing, the DApp will be useful? In which part, in which moment of our application?
Yeah, so if you look on that, you can imagine that the communication with the contract is not quite obvious, and it could create some problems for users that's not familiar with the blockchain technology or with MetaMask or how contracts works. So in that case, we need to help them to increase the user experience by providing the tools that will help to create the transaction. And why I mentioned that, because for sure, there will be private blockchain where you can store your BSB coins and use them inside the application. So if you want to transfer your coins to the application, you need to have the same tool, the same process to approve and send these coins to the contract that we will create, especially for that logic, right? In that case, to reduce the amount of problems because of the losing the coins, the mistakes being made by users, something like that, we want to include that in application. This is the first user case, right? The second use case is Second use case is if we want to provide, for example, maybe in the future, maybe we create our own node for swap, Uniswap, to allow users to buy the coins straight from our application, and without changing the address or something like that. So things that in that case, we as well need the DApp application to provide the communication with the MetaMask and with the blockchain. Another things I think is quite, let's say, mysterious, because it's something that Rafa will be announced in the future. But I can say that it will be something connected with transaction between users. It will help us to provide these transactions and tools to start, to send them coins, and to check that on a private blockchain that the transaction happens and everything's finished with success, right? So this is why we need this DApp application, and I think it's quite interesting because it can show you how many possibilities we right now have an application to use already existing code that Christian write it, right? So it's great that we have something like that, and we are ready to add in our application, but it will be added after. It will be after the coin release event, right? When we will deliver you the coins, then the application will change the profile from free to use for everybody to only access for the people who has the coins. So in that case, the DApp application will help us to provide you all the tools that you need to use this coin in application, right?
Okay, so DApp or DApp, as we call it, it will be crucial, it will be necessary to interact between our private blockchain, yes, inside the application, and the coin inside the application, and the public coin, our public coin, which will be used to in places like Uniswap, yes, and other external places, yes. So the app will be crucial to.
Yeah, exactly. I heard that you just say a little bit too much of today, but
yes, I know.
Okay, so
we have mentioned it last week, so yeah. I think that maybe it's. Maybe we can tease people a little bit with more good news, and so that's why the DApp or DApp will be very crucial, and that's why we wanted to show it how it is. And
exactly. So because we know that the gas fee is quite high, and we don't want to force you to use your
money,
hard working money on Ethereum payments. We want to create inside the application the private blockchain. It will be, of course, available for you to check what we are doing there, and all the smart contracts will be open sources, right? But we need to have it up because it won't be only one smart contract. There will be a lot of smart contracts which we need to provide all these functions which we mentioned. And second thing is that is already what Tomek said. Why we need this private blockchain? Thanks that it will allows us to provide you all the functions and process that you normally have on an Ethereum blockchain, but we can just remove the fee for the gas because we are working only on our the principles and the let's say rules we can just set by inside the application how we want to, right? So it will allow us to only to stick to the, of course, the burning logic that it's included in the contract, but we don't need the fee and gas price because it will be our blockchain. So there will be connection, of course, between coins in a private blockchain, and because it will be still the same. Maybe in technical perspective, it won't be the same coin, but from your perspective as a user, it will be the same coin. It will be one-to-one. If you will store the coins on application, you probably will receiving as well the participation in burning the coins on a normal blockchain, and as well you have the advantage of the market because you are participating as well in a transaction inside the application. So if you are storing your coins outside the application, you won't be able to take part in in a burning an application, but in application you will be taking part in all the burning process that we will include in our coin.
Yeah. So long story short, we are looking for solutions that will make you pay less for using the application, for paying the small amounts of money for information, and it will be more efficient for you. So, okay, Bartek.
Yeah. No.
Let's go to another topic. I know you prepared a lot for today, so go on.
Yeah, sure. So let me share my screen this time. Where is it? Oh, sorry. I have a small problem. Let me. So. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we are back. Yeah, so it should be fine right now. So right now I want to talk about the sandbox, like you maybe know or not. Next week it will be available for you. Of course, it will be limited to the basic functions and options, but it will allow you to start using and checking our, let's say, application and what we just already prepared for you. Of course, there won't be something like transactions, coins. Probably the group function will be limited. There will be simple chat, but when we will start with our sandbox, after that we will be deploying the changes every week. For this next Friday, as long as we will, we're working with you on this project. So every week we will be trying to deploy something new for you to the project, right? And I think that today we can just imagine that this part is more like a guideline, like let's say video. How I want to show you how you should navigate and use our application in the basic level and with the basic options. And yeah, so let's start with first one. Like you need to have MetaMask extension in your web browser. Right now it's a Chrome, but the same extension is for Tor browser. The Tor browser we will present with Tomek next meeting, next Friday, when we will be providing you the address, because right now if we will show you the Onion address, you will start using our application too early for us, but right now we are using the Chrome, so it's just for presentation purpose. So when I want to connect, we will ask MetaMask for connecting to our wallet, and in that case I need to provide the password and connect to and sign the nonce. Nonce is the, let's say, the number that we need to sign by our private key to let's say provide enough information and provide the confirmation to our application that we are using this address and we are the owner of this address. So when I will click over here, we will receive the authorization from application. Right now in our application, like you already know, this is the main view. We are calling the main view with the baits. This is the public place where you will be able to see all the public news that it's providing to you. And they are everybody who shares with everybody information, and the paste information for everybody will be available over here, right? It's not view for group messages, but maybe in the future when we will adding the groups for you. But right now it's something that like the wall in Facebook. Maybe this is a good example how we are using that. And of course I can just scroll that and it will be I will be able to just like on the Facebook, just checking the information on a wall, and it will be, it's an infinity scroll, so you can just scroll all the way down to the end of the list of our information. So if you want to, but it will be quite long because right now it's something like around 2,000 or something like that in our database informations generated randomly about any of topics or something like that. So this is why we want to add you the way how you can easily, for example, find some information. So if you have some hashtags like that, if you click on this, you will be the system will give you the list of the baits that it's limited only to the baits where you have this hashtag. So like you can see, hashtag logic is working and it will be given to you. I hope that you, because we are imagining we want to just set the rules that the hashtags are more like types of information, types of the data, types of the people. I can just provide the example. For instance, if I want to add something like new leak from the BSB dev team, I can give you like something like dev team, for example, information, and then for example add something like that, the next Friday sandbox will be live. And thanks that you can just create any group of information and you can add the up to the 5 hashtags on the one bait. So you need to be careful what you use because the number of the hashtag is limited, because we don't want to a situation like it's on for example Instagram or for Twitter, that you have a lot of unconnected hashtags to the information. But thanks that you need to be careful what you use, and you need to use the most important and most useful hashtags for your information, right? Of course, there could be there will be option to add your reaction. Right now we are rebuilding this logic. It will be quite surprising how it will change for you next Friday. It will be showing you the count of the up votes, count of the total numbers of the down votes, and it will be showing you the ratio between up and downs in this section by this graphic interpretation. Right now is only the 0, but it will be better way how we want to present that information to you. As well, the comments is quite obvious, and that you can add the comments, like here is a test, right? But to carry is what the heck, right? So I don't know what is information that, and so this is the main view, right? You need to be careful because I think that we will try to let you into application and let you start using that, but maybe we are concerned that if you get some reputation in this sandbox, probably we will let you stay with that reputation. So please keep it in mind that it's not for trashing our data and application. It's not for trolling. It's more for building community. So keep in mind that if you use your Ethereum address, right, to create the account and application, there is no option to back with your reputation. It will be hard work to back from negative reputation to the positive reputation. So please keep in mind that probably we'll storing your information about your reputation, and there will we don't want to give you any tools that will help you to back from trolling and griefing the others live on the application, right? So this is the main view. Of course, there will be avatars option to add for sandbox. For sandbox, and yeah, and there is as well the yeah. So there is option as well to searching for keywords. It will be searching in the title and the description. So I think that will help you to just find the information. So I hope it will help you. For sure, this is the sandbox, right? So there was more options to search in application, but we want to share with you only the basic ones. And we are looking forward for your information that, for example, this is helpful, this is not, we need this, or we don't need that. Of course, it will help us to provide a better version of our application when we will be ready to deploy the version with the tokens, right? This is the search option. You need to keep in mind that we have a trending algorithm. Maybe you remember that it was, I think, sixth meeting or something like that, where Emmanuel just presented our algorithm for trending baits. Keep in mind that the new baits are upping. I mean that they are having a higher score on the beginning, but by the time the score is decreasing. So please keep in mind that you need to be helping others to pumping their rank in the baits to higher on a list. So it means that the list is sorted. It's the order is based on a score that you receive from reactions, comments, numbers, the time, etc. So on. So it will be good because I mean there is my suggestion and my request to you guys as a community that help us to us as much as possible try to vote every information to check how this trending algorithms work. Of course, we need to. I hope not, but there is some change options that we need to change some values in this function. But it will help us to check that if you will voting the others' informations and help others to get the score and so on. And as well, there is a connection that if you receive, if you get a lot of positive scores and a lot of positive comments in your bait, it will rise your reputation application. And why the reputation right now is so important? Because we have the throttle function. Throttle functions means that you have limited numbers of the requests, the limited numbers of the baits that you can add to the system in the 1 hour. And it's limited to the, I think, I don't want to right now throw in the numbers because I don't remember the function, but if you, for example, create 15 baits and you are the new one, the account with the rank new, the system will block you from pre-posting the next bait for the 1 hour. So this is that we want to reduce the griefing in our application as well. We want to motivate you to get the reputation higher and higher and higher, right? So this is like a gamification option to our application to allow you to achieve something in our application. As well, the negative reputation will decrease your numbers on the post that you can post add in the application during 1 hour in 1 hour. But I think nobody wants to be with negative reputation, so I don't want to waste time for that part of the logic, right? Yeah. So as well, there will be view for your account. There will be option to follow your account, to check who is following you, as well. Then it's more like the account that it's, for example, on the Twitter, and you can just double check, check what data information the user is providing to everybody. There will be as well the description section that will be allows you to describe yourself as somebody, or maybe what you want to achieve, or how information you are looking for for other users. And as well, there will be a hashtag option to add up to the 10 hashtags. To, for example, say that I'm a hashtag trader, hashtag vendor, hashtag only S&P 500, something like that, and it will allows you to find the people like you only by using the hashtags, and it will for sure help you to get the right group of the people in application, right, together. Okay, so this is the basic part. This will be sandbox with the search. As well, we are looking for more function maybe share with you, but I think that it's something that we can start with. and then like I said, we will be deploying the changes every week to you for you to the sandbox, as long as coins will be available, and after that the free access to the application will be limited to the BSB coin. And as well, I want to share you that we are working right now on a communication and application. I know it looks quite, let's say, simple right now, but we are working on a graphic part of this view. But what is important, this is working, and it is what we probably want to share with you in a sandbox as well, but not looking like that. It will be more clean, in my opinion. Yeah, so this is the private information. They will be encrypted, right? They will be secured for you, but it will allows you to communicate with specific user, for example, for sharing the information, or maybe to try to buy something. We will see. This is for you. How you will using that. It's not our part of the let's say design, but we want to give you the tools that will allow you to communicate with everybody, right? And yeah, this is like, it's a little bit different than we normally have, because right now all the simple functions that we have in the system options, they are the API HTTP requests types, right? And we are sending the request to the API, we are receiving the JSON file with the information, and we are presenting that in your browser. But this is more like, this is the WebSocket. WebSocket is more like, let's say, tunnel that it's throwing to you information to you and receiving from you in like a stream, something like that. And like you can see, I'm receiving a lot of right now information that I see that. Sorry, I need to type this back. Okay, so yeah, so this is something that, for example, you can share or ask about, for example, information, buy something. So right now I'm asking the user 1008 about the price for short bags that he or she wants to sell me, right? What do we see? What is it? What's that do that? Yeah, so this is what we can say. So this is the sandbox. It will be the sandbox, right? This is what we want to share with you about the sandbox, and what you will receive next Friday. Like I mentioned, right now I'm presenting in the Chrome, so Chrome browser. Keep this in mind that if you use the Chrome browser with the extension that allows you to use the Tor network, it will probably reduce your security and your anonymous way how you want to be presented in application, because still you are in Chrome, so Chrome is collecting data about you. But Tor browser will be the main browser that we want to use for our application. And more about this and how to set up your Tor browser and how you should use that and how you can use our application Tor browser, we will present with Tomek next Friday. But yeah, I think that it's what I can say about the sandbox. And I think I have one additional topic. I hope, Tomek, you allow me to share with everybody. There were some questions about how we are working in our team and how our tools for managing our project looks like. So I want to, like I already said in the past, this is the GitLab self-host instance that we have on our developed environment, right? And I want to show you our board, how it looks like, because right now it's quite important day for us, because we are hitting the around number closed tickets on the board. It means that the developers right now finished more than 100 tasks that I created from them. So it's quite important, because we are 1 week ahead of Sandbox and we are hitting new records in our team. So right now I want to thank you for everybody who is working on application with me, because I'm happy that I have team like that. And yeah, and we are going so better and better every week. So I think it will be only better surprises than the worst, the bad ones, right? So let me share my, once again, let me share my, where is it? My GitLab view. Yeah, so it is Git. So this is the Kanban board we are using. There is more than one board. There is a roadmap, but I can't show that roadmap to you because there are some, let's say, information that they are like right now top secret, and we don't want to share them before the official information. But like you can see, I can just quickly say about the process. The BSAs, I mean the business system analyst and product managers, or maybe the developers, or as well the testers, creating the task that is placed in the dev open group of the tasks, right? It means that this task is waiting for person who can take that. BE, it means backend, front-end. It means that it's from front-end. It's when we have this both. This means that there is a needed comparison between one of the both sides of our applications, right? And of course, VIPs means that work in progress. Blocks it means that is something missing. Testing is means that we are testing. A checking is that we checked once again that everything is fine, and person who is responsible for business perspective approval is taking this story and it's closing based on the work that received from developers, right? And what you can find in that, I know, of course, I know that's in the Polish, it's not in English, because mainly our team is we are the Polish guys, and we decided that for now, for speed up a little bit our project, we are using our native language, but for sure maybe in the future we will change our task to the English. Of course, code is in English. The comments in the codes I will show you as well, they are in English, but the descriptions for the task are in the Polish. So, for example, there is some requirements about the searching and how we want to the search use, and of course there is a lot of merge requests, some discussions, something like that. Nothing more, but what is important, there is the link to the merge request. Merge request means that we are pushing the new code to our GitLab, and thanks that the developers can, for example, quickly check what's changed, what the developer added in our repository, what is removed, why he removed that. There could, I can add, for example, the comment over here. So this is what I can share for people who are working in the IT and industry. It's quite obvious, but I think that it's quite interesting for people who are not working as a developers or maybe in IT projects. So this is why I want to share that with you. And yeah, so this is what I prepared for today for everybody. So I think that is great time to move to the questions. So okay,
Bartek, so maybe I will help you with the questions, and maybe I will read a question to you and you'll answer. But let's make a rule that you have 30 seconds to answer a question. Let's do it briefly, shortly, because we can speak for long hours, and let's leave it for later. So. The first question from Grzegorz. Hi, can you tell me more about the tokens, coins, which will be used inside application? I think that that's not the best moment to talk about the tokens inside the application. Bartek early in this video said some things about it, and I think that for now we can leave it on this level of knowledge. We will not say more about it. We will say some more in coming weeks. Okay.
I can say that we want to give you the tool that allows you to create the transaction to, for example, receive or sell something, but you can add more in your head, right?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Next question. Look, next some question. What could you sell by app? Only info, or also some real stuff like cars, computers, and etc.? Can we sell cars or computers by the application, Bartek? We didn't consider that as anyone will like to use this application like eBay. Maybe it's kind of more like a Silk Road something. I'm not sure that we are heading this way, but why not? Why not consider this kind of functionality, right? But it's for now it's not our main thought for the application. Bartek?
Yeah, I can just confirm that we are for now. What I can say, this is the market information, right? So we are focusing on the market, on the files, on the videos, on everything that you want to share that they contain any useful information. Maybe there will be what you can imagine that you can store in a file and will be useful for somebody you can sell, right? So it will be digital files and information. About the normal goods, what I can say, there is some cooperation that Rafa mentioned to me, but I think that if Rafa will be ready if we will be ready as a project to announce that cooperation about the selling goods and something like that, then for sure it will be announced during this dev meeting. So we can invite you for next meeting, and then for sure.
So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. Yeah. Are there will there be other coins accepted in the app?
Right now, I can say we are focusing on a BSB coin, and when a BSB coin will be available, then for sure we will be waiting for your suggestion on the community, because this tool is for you, not for us. So we will see what future will bring.
Will be subscription options or payments for each information?
Okay, so this I can for sure say. So because there will be groups, right, limited only for groups member, and there will be an option that some people will want to share the information and the data without, for example, taking the payments. We want to give you the tool that you can receive the, let's say, receive the coins from by the donation, right? So first of all, there will be, of course, the transaction for buying information. There could be a subscription for group as an option, right? So if you want to join the groups, the owner can set the price for month, or maybe one payment only by entering to the group, right? And then for example, you can go to the user account, and there will be option to give the donation to the user, because you are, for example, admiring what he or she is doing in application, or what data he is providing by free, without any payments. So yeah, there will be donation, there will be subscription, there will be transactions.
Okay. Next questions. Will there be limit of file sizes, like for videos or data?
So this is the topic. It's quite complicated because it's related to the how we want to encrypt our data in application. Of course, in larger file will be encrypted longer than the smaller file. It's quite obvious. Right now we are aiming for 5 megabytes, and what I heard, it's quite a lot, and we are not sure if we will stay like that. You need to remember that if you, for example, use the voice messages in application, and you want to modulate your voice, or maybe you have a big PDF file or zip file that you want to encrypt. If it's the quite big file, for example, like around 5 megabytes, it will take a lot of time to you to stay online with your web browser to make sure that it's encrypted and sent correctly to the backend, right? Because encryption will be happening in your web browser, because
this is very important what Bartek is saying right now, because I'm not sure, maybe many of you is not very familiar with the encryption technology, but our main purpose is your safety and safety of your information. So it is possible to encrypt much larger size files on the server side. But if we encrypt any content on the server side, it means that we as a team, as a developer team or DevOps or anyone who have access to the server, to the source, we have access to your not encrypted, to your raw, to your file. And our purpose, our main is that we don't want, we cannot have access to your files. We cannot have, because we are the same kind of users that you are. So we cannot have access to the to the content, to the information that you want to be paid for, in the way, in the not how to say it, not fair. It won't be fair if we have access to this. So any content that you want to upload to the application have to be encrypted on your computer. So it means on the front end side, it means in your browser, in your internet browser, and any content you are sending to the server is encrypted already by you, and it's and for us it's encrypted the same way as for any other user. We don't have access to the files or any other content you are sending to the server. That's the reason why the files are much smaller, because your personal device, like your phone or your computer, is in many times it's device much weaker than the servers that we have on our side, and it have smaller capabilities of encryption that a big server that we have. That's the reason why the files are for encryption are much smaller than the files that you can encrypt, like in services like YouTube or any other big retailers. Okay, I hope I explained that quite easily for you, why the files are so small, like 5 megabytes. Okay.
Thank you, Tomek. It was great. 30 seconds. Okay. So
okay.
Next question. Do we have something?
Okay. Next questions. Yeah.
Or maybe Christian want to add something about it, because it's your domain,
yeah, it's
right?
your domain, Christian. Do you want to say something about encryption?
Not much. Just I would like to point out one thing. So remember when I was talking about DEVS? DEVS interact directly with blockchain, which allows for this decoupling of user and us as developers, so that whatever operation, whatever content is being done, we are not intermediary. That's how we can. This might answer another question that I saw on the chat. What about FBI? So we will have nothing to do with the data or the content that we posted, because either it will be encrypted, and we as developers will have no means to decrypt it, or it will be operation on the chain.
Okay, thank you, Christian. Now the question that I think it's not the question for the developer team. So did the first pre-sale price will be changed if the end price will be far better? I think we will omit this question, because it's not a question for the developer team. It's a question for Rafał.
I can add something, Tomek, because maybe you're not familiar. I mean, maybe you don't know, but I'm reading all your messages on the Telegram groups, and I always make a note based on your suggestions, something like that. And maybe there will be some advantage in application for users who takes part in the first pre-sale and the second pre-sale. But right now I don't want to say more, but I can say that it's
probable.
Yes, it's something
it's probable.
It's probable that you will receive, maybe not in the tokens, maybe not as a, in that way, some advantages, but maybe some advantages in the application. But I want to. Right now I can say only like that.
Okay, let's leave it here. Next question: Can I move my crypto YouTube channel to app, and what will be the profit? So I think we have answered that earlier in the ways that you can have profit from sharing information in the application. It will be just the same as Bartek described many times before. Yeah. Next question. Will the application check the token amount during login or also time to time? Short answer, Bartek. Short answer.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. There will be 2 more months of coins we are tracking. One is on a blockchain, on an Ethereum blockchain, and second amount that we will be storing about your address will be the amount of coins that you are storing on our private blockchain. It's help us to know how in total you have the coins in let's say in our environment, blockchain environment, right? And it will be always the one of the steps during the login process is checking your balance on a wallet and adding that the information in the database. And of course, it will be updating when you use the transaction options. Then always we will be updating your balance in the right direction. I hope, of course.
Okay, next question. Quite interesting. How the application will be protected to not be closed by FBI? So that's a interesting question. So first of all, FBI have, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that FBI have no, in Poland we don't have an FBI, so so we don't risk by that for now, but of course it will be an international application. So, but for real, every information in the application will be encrypted on the server, on the database. So even if anyone will steal or have access to the database, he or she or this institution will not have an access to information stored in that database. So the same way I have described a few minutes ago. So based on that, we as a developers or FBI or anybody else will have no knowledge about most of communication on this application. They will have to be a user with an access to certain channels, certain groups, and I think it's not the moment or the way to discuss about the law issues of application, but Bartek, maybe you have something to add, because I have to.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of options that we have on the table right now. Some of them are created by Tomek, but I think that they are quite obvious that Tomek just forget about them. First of all, we want to. The first thing is only the tool, right? So it's you are breaking the law, adding something. The same could happen on Facebook. You can find some ISIS back. I mean that the videos that they're providing quite bad content, right? So it could happen everywhere, and yeah. So this first thing is it will be encrypted data. So first of all, the agents for FBI needs to get access to your group or maybe your chat or your profile and something like that. Second thing is that we are thinking about let's say storing our backup in more than one place, and let you maybe help us with that. We will see in the future, and as well maybe because we are working with the private blockchain, there could be a possibility that we as well decentralize our infrastructure, but this is more complicated topic. It's something that we can't achieve in 2 months. So yeah, we are discussing about this quite hard, and we are thinking about this every 3 times. So right now I don't have ready to go solution, but we know what options we have, and we are working on that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Bartek. Next question. Will there be a notification system?
Yeah, there will be a notification system. Right now, something that is, let's say, is useful. It's quite obvious, but we're focusing on something more important for us. But I think that it's a matter of time that it's more closer than. I mean, I say that it's a matter of time. I'm not sure if it will be sandbox or maybe right after the sandbox, but the first week of the sandbox. But something around that we are aiming with the notifications.
Okay. Next time, can you prepare a short summary of what is ready in the app, the 2-3 minutes at the end of each meeting? Yeah, we can consider that. It's a quite good thought. So
Noted.
Why not? Yeah. Which Tor browser is recommended? What Tor browser have been used in development testing? The Tor browser.
Yeah, I think that we
Short
can just
answer.
move this, like I said, the configuration, the browser, all the things that you need to, you need to do for Sandbox will be presented next Friday. So be ready for short guideline then, right?
Okay. Next question is quite interesting. It's a very usable question. The tags suggestion list will be the default option, or the users will create their own tags when posting?
We don't have the list of the tags. In the database we don't have the list of ready to use tags. If you adding the tag and system is not providing you the suggestion that the tag is already existing in the system, the system will create the tag hashtag right after you post the first information, bait or profile with this tag. So for example, you want to create new tag, because it's not visible in an application, you're just adding this hashtag in your, for example, bait, and then system will after that will create the new hashtag. And right now it's working like other already existing hashtags in the system, right? So it is your hand to create new hashtags, and we don't want to limit your possibilities over here, right?
Okay, the next question is quite long. Do you see the risk that user will place fake news just to collect tokens? So, and what about the situation where I will put some data, some information, and most of the community will disagree with me and will give me a negative points, but my message will appear to be true in some time in the future? What with that kind of situations?
Okay, so we want to be, first of all, we are aware about the situation, and it's quite problematic, right? First of all, if you fake the news, what I understand, the fake news, right? So in the first place, it's a fake news, so you need to be aware that your reputation will be decreased. So it will limit your options in application, and you will be let's say marked that you are not faithful person in application. And of course there could be some situation that you will be, for example, attacked by some groups of people to decrease your reputation, or maybe we found out that maybe this information was right, not the fake one. So we are thinking, because there's the problem that we want to give you full freedom in application, right? This is your community, this is your information, this is your data. We don't want to set the rules and be like a policeman, right? This is more like it's your ground, your market, and you can do what you want, and you need to vote for give your votes and your reaction to the good persons, and mark the bad ones to decrease their reputations and move them lower in the trending algorithm, right? There is an option, but it's quite, like I said, it's nothing that we can achieve in 2 or 3 months, but there is an option that we can provide you something that it's quite popular in an application with the reputation, that you will the users with highest reputation can join the, let's say, Justice League, let's say like that, and they will be judging the situation like that, without information about the user, without information about, for example, who is posting when and something like that. That will be only the information about the file, something like that. And then if the judge group will decided that you're right, this is not unpopular, not unpopular, but incorrect way getting the scores because they are, for example, attacking you, they can decrease this, for example, the power of this bait in your reputation algorithm, for example, to the 0, and then algorithm don't count this bait in if setting your reputation based on your activity in the application, right? But it's the only concept right now. I want to say that loud that we don't have that right in the application, and there is more important things, because right now we are focusing on 60-70% of situation that will happen in application. But let's say if it's 5%, 4% of situations, we need to move a little bit further in the future, because if we will start working as a in a waterfall way of going up projects, it means that we are trying to develop everything and then start. Probably we will back to you in the next 3 years, but we want to give you small amount of value and then just improving that every week, right? So of course, at the beginning, there will be problems like that, but we need to agree that the solution is in a way, but not now.
Yeah. Okay. Next questions. Will the price of the bait will somehow price for the bait will be correlated with market price for tokens? It is much different to pay for news 1 token for 1 USD than 1 token for 10 USD. So I mean, I think it's about the change in the price of the tokens for the real currency.
What I can say, you need to remember that it's something like the price,
the swap price, yeah.
Yeah, the swap price risk. It means that, for example, if you are living in the country where you have you are using euro, for example, you don't looking every day for zloty, right? So in application, we are using the BSB coin as our currency, right? So we don't want to. This is something that you are going to another country and you want to buy something. There is other economy, there are the different, let's say the quality of life or something like that. So you can't, for example, in the mind just count that. For example, I paid 100 euros. So this is something like around almost 500 zloty, because it's not the same situation, right? It's a different country, different economy, and something like that. So this is like here. If you are not convinced by the price that, for example, this information is not worth that price, you don't need to buy this. And this is what I can say for that, right?
Yeah. Is it going to be possible to post information with expiry date? For example, 1 hour, 1 day, etc.
Yes, there is. We want to increase our model. I mean, the information that you can give to the baits, and there will be something like how certain this information is. For example, from 0 to 1. So 0 is like a rumor. 100 is I have a document for that, and the date. For example, it will be, for example, published in next month. So I'm say that it's, for example, 1 month earlier than normally you will receive that. So yes, we are thinking about this, but it's quite right now without selling the information is not important so much, right?
Yeah. Are you planning VPN connections for app users? Not for now. Maybe in the future. That's the simplest answer. Okay, that's a quite interesting question. What about the situation? And Bartek, you don't need to have answer for every question that I'm reading, because some of those questions need to be more considered by us. So, what about the situation where for example, you pay 10 tokens for access to the news, to some kind of information, copy it and paste it on your own wall for, let's say, 5 tokens?
What can I say? Free market.
Yeah. and risk of a free market.
If you look, for example, on Amazon, on Amazon, there is something like that. For example, the producer selling for $100, somebody is buying that for $100 and selling for $200. Somebody is buying this $200 and selling for $500, and somebody is buying that. This is free market. We don't want to limit that. So yeah, it's the risk that it's connected to the freedom and to the market, free market, right?
Okay, that's I think that's all questions that we have. Okay, Bartek, Christian, anything else, something more for today, or?
I think that we, like I mentioned, see you next week. It will be sandbox release, and there will be short guideline how you should use Tor browser and what you need to set up to get access. And yeah, see you next week. It will be a big day for everybody, and I hope it will be